What's up, everybody? Happy Monday. I'm so glad to see you guys in here. I see some new faces. Thank you guys for popping in. I'm here to support Jeff and hang out for the chat. So thank you to the new guys. So I did see the Orlando guy. I appreciate you being here, sir. And I saw, let's see, we got Danny Hooley. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. And we got some of my friends here. I saw Dan C in here. What's up, Dan? We got, of course, Dole Whipped Dad's in the house. What's up, Jeff? You guys will see him in just a second. We got Chops. Good to see you, man. Dave. Here's the best coach on YouTube, Mrs. Coach, my biggest supporter. We got Bruce City. We got Daniel. What's up, Daniel? Ellie's here. Who else do we have? I don't want to miss anybody. There's my brother, Jay Cruz. What's up, man? Emo. What's going on, man? We'll see if we see Mo in here talking about leather beard products. We have to keep him at bay there. Michael Zarati, what's up, Michael? Good to see you. We got Mark, Jason, good to see you guys. We got T-Bearded Strickland, what's going on, man? All right, and I don't think I missed anybody. If I did, I'm sorry. So, hey, welcome. It's Monday night. You guys know my favorite night of the week. So, you guys know one of the things with my channel that I want people to understand is that you can just hit record. That's where the name came from, just hit record. I think that everybody has a story. I say this in every video. Everybody's got a reason to create content. And I think that YouTube is kind of a thing where YouTube looks different for everybody. Obviously, it's based on the videos you watch and what you see. So you see the stuff that you're pretty much interested in for the most part. And so tonight's show is kind of talking about that, creating content that you're passionate about. So there's people that are passionate about content creation like me, beards like me also, and a lot of you in the chat. You got cars, you got food, fitness, all kinds of stuff. Tonight's guest is passionate about Disney. Now, we were talking before the show. I've never been to Disney. I don't know anything about Disney, but he does. He does some great stuff. So let's bring in Dole Whipped Dad. Jeff, how are you, sir?
I'm spectacular. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm glad to have you on. So we were talking before the show, and I don't know anything about Disney, but you do. You've got a great channel that you've kind of built around that. You actually have a few channels and a few things you're doing, but before we get into all of that, why don't you introduce yourself to the crowd here and let us know how you're doing.
Yeah. So Jeff Bates is my real name. Dole Whipped Dad is a channel. I remember the first time I ever got called Dole Whipped Dad. It kind of freaked me out. I'm just Jeff, but I love it. I do love Disney. I have a lot of passions, and I have a couple channels. My main channel is this one, and yeah, I love Disney, and it was really kind of, we'll talk, I think one of the questions we might get to in a little bit is why this, and I'll give you a little hint. I wanted something to turn off my work day. You know, I love work. I love what I do for a career, and maybe we can talk about that too, but I wanted to be able to just do something that I was having fun. It was just fun. It wasn't serious in any way. And yeah, that's kind of, I want some more Dole Whip in my life. So there you go.
And it is fun. You have a lot of stuff that you're doing. I mean, Dole Whip Dad is you do stuff like, I mean, Creator Talk Live. You have a live stream also. You usually have a guest on with that.
Mm-hmm. Well, sometimes.
Sometimes you've got the Disney morning show. Good Morning Disney, is that?
Yeah. Good Morning Disney. It's 9 o'clock my time. That's Central Time. So it's 10 o'clock Eastern Time. And it's actually on hiatus. It'll kick back up, well, right after Halloween, November 1st. Or is assuming November 1st is a Monday. I think it is. But yeah, it's a daily live stream when I can go. Sometimes work gets in the way. So it's been 3 days a week, 4 days a week, but it's kind of my regular Disney news of the day kind of silliness for the uber Disney fan who really wants to know, what time the tram's leaving and that kind of stuff. And then I'll do, so I do vlogs, and this is my channel that will probably never blow up because it's a mix mash of all things I love. And then as I get serious with some other niches, I have other channels, but we'll talk about that. But yeah, it's fun. This is just for fun, and I love it. And I love, if it makes me smile and I can make somebody else smile, it's a good day.
Yeah, I mean, you've built a channel around your passion for Disney, and I love the Good Morning Disney shows because you talk about some different stuff. I've seen you talk about like McDonald's toys.
Yep, my daughter. I have to, because if I don't, my daughter will not talk to me anymore. She loves them, and it's probably why I weigh. Well, no, it's not, but I'll use it as an excuse. Too many Happy Meals in my life.
You know what? I've had too many McDonald's too, and the McRib's coming back. So
I heard.
November 1st, I believe.
I'm McRib, no pickles.
McRib, no onions.
Oh yeah, that's probably a good call too.
Yeah. So what's up, Russ, and everybody that's popped in? Good to see you guys. All right, so
Wait. The Disney Beardsman?
yes, yep,
I think I love you.
yep.
What?
He actually lives really close. He loves Disney also, and there's also in the chat is Dan C. Bearded who lives up in Michigan, but him and his family go to Disney like every year. They love Disney.
Nice. I mean, the Disney Beard, that's like me and you got together and we created a YouTube channel. Boom.
There you go. I'm
I
waiting on
love it.
him to create a YouTube channel. I mean, he has a YouTube channel. He does a lot of stuff on IG, but
Nice.
let's go, Daniel.
Nice to meet you,
So,
Daniel.
see, the Orlando guy says now Jeff will have to discuss the Disney fandom insanity on Good Morning Disney that was quoted in the San Francisco. Yeah, I saw this in a video you did just a few days ago.
So I haven't put out the video yet. So yeah, okay. I'm working on a video. So it has nothing to do with Disney, but here it comes. I'm working on a video. You know, those calls that, or even so on Instagram, they like, hey, you want some Bitcoin? You know, the crazy idiot scammers.
Right.
So I'm working on a video because I like it and it's ridiculous and I don't know how it works, but it must. Magic Mouse Radio knows what's going on, buddy. And anyway, so I'm working on that and I get a message from my buddy Richard, the Orlando guy. He says, "Hey, saw you were quoted in a newspaper in San Francisco," and I'm like, "What?" So yeah, I put out a tweet about. So I love Disney people. I'm a Disney people, but there's this hatred for every decision Disney makes that the Disney community, the Disney influencer, the Disney blogger, they just want to complain about everything. And so I put out a tweet about it and a newspaper picked it up and used it in their article. It was pretty fun. And I feel like I can't kind of went around in circles giving you that story. But Richard, thanks for pointing it out. Yeah, it'll be in a future video. We've got family over, so I have more ideas right now for videos than videos, but hopefully, not that I want them to leave, but
Right. No, I hear you.
I'll probably have more content going out when.
There you go.
I can find the refrigerator.
So Dole Whip Dad, for those in the stream or those in the chat that may not know, I know what Dole Whip is. I've never had the real stuff, but we were talking before. My wife has made it. We have a ice cream shop here that makes it, so I know what it is. But for those in the chat that may not know, how did the name Dole Whip Dad come about?
So I love pineapple everything, and I love Disney everything, and if you don't, well, can I? And I love Adventureland everything. Oh, that's weird. Everybody needs to take their Dramamine when I do that. Sorry about that. But, Dole Whip is a Disney soft serve treat. It's not ice cream. It's a soft serve. Oh, my mouth just watered. Ken, I'm not even kidding. You get me to talk about Dole Whip. It's like, it's the best. It's so good. And when you're in Orlando, it's 1,000 freaking degrees. It's the perfect, see, Disney. I think I love you, Disney. It's the perfect cold treat when you want to stay in a good mood, but you're sweating and you don't know why. It's the best. It's the best. So I don't know, I wanted people to, so honestly, if we're going to be serious strategically, the reason I named my channel Dole Whip Dad is I wanted everybody to know it's going to be a family kind of thing. I'm going to talk about my kids. I'm going to talk about whatever. So I threw the dad in there, and Dole Whip, you're not going to know what Dole Whip is necessarily unless you're a Disney nut. So if you're a Disney nut and you see Dole Whip Dad, you probably know I'm a Disney person, and it certainly is a good conversation starter. I have had people in Australia, I guess on the dole in Australia is like being on welfare. So I've had a couple of people confused about that. Like I'm really politically, I guess they think that I'm on one side or the other on that. But
Right.
Other than that, most people know it's Disney, or they have no idea, which is cool too, because the whole thing on YouTube is you don't really want everybody. You want everybody who's going to be into your stuff.
Exactly. And channel titles are really important. So that's a great Dole Whip Dad. Your crowd knows automatically. They know what you're about.
I hope so.
At least the Disney part of it from that. Yeah.
Yeah. And on the dad part, hopefully it shows us, hopefully it's going to be family friendly. On occasion I get insane, but I try to stay family friendly.
So let's talk about Disney, because that's the channel. I know you have a second channel. What's your second YouTube channel called?
I've got a couple, but the Animated Investor. I haven't posted on there a while. I've got a couple things in the works for that too, but I've got a lot of passions. Disney's one of my passions. I'm a nonprofit professional in real life. I've run a nonprofit for a while. I'm passionate about that, but I want to get away from work when I'm doing this. And I love investing. And I love that today you can invest so much easier than you could when I was 18, 25, 30, whatever. And I think that the barrier to being able to put yourself in a strong position financially with investing is almost gone now. And so I like to share that. I frankly, I've just through my affiliate links on Webull and Robinhood, I've probably got, I don't know, other people 25 free stocks, 30 stocks. I mean, they get about two, and I think I have 15, and then they give me stocks too, of course. So, and then it shows them how easy it is to start your investing life. I think that the world is so afraid of that. So I'm passionate about that, and I'm going to have a lot more of that in 2022. And then I got some podcasts and stuff like that. But I don't even remember what you asked me, honestly.
Well, I kind of went off on asking
my
about
other
your
channel.
second channel. Yeah, because Dole Whipped Dad was the only channel that I really knew about. I was telling you, you and I kind of met during Lita, which is live every day in August or April, which is run by Live Streaming Pros. And so you were live in there, and that's how you and I first connected. So Dole Whip Dad I knew about. I didn't know about the other channels, though.
That's very cool.
So
Russ is asking me about No Shave November. I don't
yes.
know if my wife will be down with that, but she might. Honestly, I can't get through the itch phase, so you're going to have to walk me through that at some point. Because I've almost decided to go all the way, and then I'm like, ugh. So I'm sure, and I feel like you might be the product man. You might know a product that might help me out.
I can point you to a few beard products. Yeah, well, we can talk about that.
I love it.
Yeah. So, but no, let's
it.
talk about Disney. So, so you obviously you love Disney. Disney is a passion of yours.
Yes.
So when did you first? I guess when was your first trip to Disney? What made you fall in love with Disney the way you are?
So I tell people this: my family was a Disney family before Disneyland was open. Disneyland was open in 1955 in Anaheim. My grandfather worked there in 53 and 54. Pre it opening, he worked on the Jungle Cruise. He worked on Main Street and some other places too. He was kind of a handyman, frankly. He painted and he did plenty of things. And he lived when I was a kid. If I'd go like for the summer, I'd go to Grandma and Grandpa's for a couple of weeks, whatever. I could see the fireworks from their front yard. Right. So I think, and I've asked my mom this, and they had me in a stroller at Disney before I was 1. So they were always going to Disney. So it's been part of our family. And then, I liked it as a kid. And then I kind of stopped when college and all that, you're moving through life. And then we adopted our first 2 daughters, and we had a couple other daughters, and it just became this thing that they loved too. And so it rekindled my, I don't know if passion's even the right word, my love for it. I mean, and as a nonprofit executive who loves entrepreneurism, I'm a big fan of companies who do things in my mind right. And they certainly do it. Now they're not perfect. Nobody's perfect, but right. They do such a great job of getting their go on Twitter. Their fans are pretty passionate. They pretend like they're mad at Disney while they're, throwing their dollar bills. It's pretty nuts. So I don't know of many. Apple comes to mind. They're very passionate fandom too, but Disney uses joy to make insanely passionate fans. I think it's pretty amazing. So I love Disney now as an adult from the business standpoint, from pretty much every standpoint. Again, I don't think they do everything they do is right, but I like that their plan for existence is creating people's happiness. I mean, you go to Disney to get away from whatever and to have a great time. A vacation at Disney is supposed to be the best week of your year, and it can be. It is.
Yeah, we've never been. We definitely are going to make it at some point for sure.
We need to have, and your Orlando guy, I hope you're still here, buddy. We've talked about trying to get a Disney creator thing going in Orlando, maybe an annual thing. Maybe it doesn't mean Disney creator. Maybe we just need to have a creator thing in Orlando that we have like our Disney people and we go, and then we bring people from Kentucky to Orlando for the first time. Not just Kentucky, but
So it's funny you say that because the beard community also, they have a meetup every year at Disney Springs. I have not made it. It's usually kind of
set up. Does a goatee count, or would I get kicked out?
Oh, absolutely. Facial hair is facial hair, for sure. Yes, sir.
I'll take it.
So the Star Wars park, I'm assuming you've been to the Star Wars park.
I might have been there on opening day in Orlando, yes. I may have be that crazy guy who was there. Yes. And I remember, I'll tell you what, not that you're asking, but here it comes. Walking down approaching the steps that drop down where the freaking Millennium Falcon is sitting there. 1977, I was 7 years old. You don't have to do the math. I'm 51. In 1977, my goal in life was to pilot the Millennium Falcon, just to ride in the Millennium Falcon. And that was something that I never really thought would ever get to happen. And Disney let me fly in the Millennium Falcon, first with my lunatic YouTube friends, and then with my daughters and my wife. So yeah, I'll fight you if you say something bad about Disney. They gave me that, and I love it.
That's you know, and we can talk about this. Wasn't planned to talk about, but since it came up, when Disney first bought Star Wars, I was like, oh man, you know, it's the change, right? It's not because it's Disney.
Oh,
it's the change.
I talked to 100 of you. I was high-fiving myself because what I knew was that meant Disney is really good at, what are they best at? I'll just ask. Quiz time, me to you. What is Disney best at?
Well, they're definitely good at creating movies. That's for sure.
Making money.
And making money too, yeah.
So they bought it for like $1 billion, and they made $1 billion in the first like 8 minutes. Are you kidding me? And so I knew it meant more Disney content. That day, I didn't know we were going to have The Mandalorian, but that day allowed for The Mandalorian. You know, George Lucas's love as a kid for Disney allowed him to be sold by Bob Iger and gave me that never, ever, ever I will forget flying in the Millennium Falcon and so much others. I mean, walking in that land. And again, I'll go to that crazy Disney people who just want to complain about stuff. There's people who complain about it, and that's so arrogant. So build your own whatever. Like it's like the Han Solo movie came out. People didn't like it because it wasn't what they want it to be. You don't get to write the story. I'm just happy they're giving me a Solo story. It's more content within a world I like. It's like pineapple. You can put it on the grill. You can put it on my pizza. You can put it on my dessert. I like more pineapple. I'm not going to complain about it if it's not my favorite way. I just want more.
Right. Yeah, and I'll tell you, they did one thing that I love is that I do love how they've done those movies, kind of the solo movies or the story movies in between the actual Star Wars, you know, continuation movies.
Rogue One is one of my favorite, probably my second favorite Star Wars movie. And
it was a great one.
It was beautiful, visually good story. I loved it.
Yep. And I love the fact that they have not done any worse than Jar Jar Binks, because
Jar Jar Binks gets crushed. You know, that guy considered suicide. He got so much hate.
I mean, I didn't like the character. I don't have anything against the actor.
No, I know, but people are crazy.
Yeah.
You know, one thing that I think that 51-year-old Disney nuts like me sometimes forget is the stories are for kids. Like George was writing for, and when George Lucas is asking Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau to keep his dream alive with The Mandalorian and other stuff, what he says to them is, remember, this is to give kids hope. That's the whole idea of it. So I'm not pretending like Jar Jar is a good character. It's not. But is it that different than Yoda? Why do we love Yoda and not Jar Jar? You know, it's very, I mean, it's a puppet. So,
yeah.
You know, it is what it is. I'm not going to defend Jar Jar, but the prequels are starting to get some love now. 1, 2, and 3 came out. 4, 5, and 6 were hated by people who wanted. I mean, write your own story then, right? You know, I
Right.
loved it in 77 when I was 7, and in 80 the second one came out, in 83 the third one. So I was 7, 10, and 13. So my fantasy of what 1, 2, and 3 would be after thinking about it for 10 years isn't going to come true when somebody else writes the story. It's just like right now. People are hating on 7, 8, and 9, but they'll become more beloved. Like my daughter, I have 4 daughters, and one of my youngest, I mean, she's 17, but she's a big Disney nut, and what she loves best is 7, 8, and 9. It's just when you come to it, what you fall in love with, right?
Absolutely. And I've loved I'm just a Star Wars nut. I love Star Wars, so I've loved every Star Wars movie.
Me too.
Yeah.
I mean, the worst Star Wars movie is still better than more than half the movies I spend my $10 on.
Yeah. Yep. So Mrs. Coach said, Dole Whipped Dad definitely is passionate about Disney. Everyone should be that passionate about their niche they are creating content in. Absolutely. I agree. Yeah.
You know, I appreciate that so much. And I am a passionate guy. I'm passionate about, if I'm passionate about something, I don't try to hide it. And, you know, I teach some classes. I had a parent just this last Friday tell me I'm passionate about it. And that was about U.S. history. And And I'm not passionate about U.S. history, but it is what it is. But I really appreciate that. I don't have trouble arguing a point, not argumentative. I don't. Maybe that's a bad choice of words, but that's what's fun. Like, I'm a sports fan. I don't go sit at a bar, but to me, to sit at a sports bar and talk about why Steve Garvey should be in the Hall of Fame is a fun hour. I could have that conversation with people. I like it. I like taking a position, and I like trying to get people to enjoy things like I enjoy. Like, if I love something, I still want to call my mom. I want to tell my wife. I want to talk to my kids about it. I want to share what I love. I think most people are like that. And I think that's one of the beautiful things about YouTube. I'm going to go on a little diatribe here real fast because it's in my head. This is the best tool in the history of history to spread your fill in the blank. Your love, your hate, your passion, your feel bad for me, whatever you want to share. This is the best tool ever for it, this being YouTube. The algorithms, plural, goal is to get more people to watch your stuff.
Right.
That's like my favorite. This is a machine to share my whatever with more people. Sign me up. I'm the guy who walked in a room and wanted people to notice, and aren't we all that? I mean, I guess not all of us are, but I love this medium. I love this opportunity. And that's why I talk about what I talk about. Cause how boring would it be to talk about stuff that I'm not excited about? Hey, we can talk about, rubber bands, I suppose, but I'd be bored out of my mind in about 8 seconds.
Well, that's what's beautiful about YouTube. There's probably, I can't say I've seen videos, but there's probably a rubber band niche out there.
I love that you said that. I say that all the time. If you want to feel lonely, you're choosing that if you have access to the internet. There is how do I say this? Your tribe, I don't really like that word, but that's right. Your tribe is waiting for you to find them. They're out there. You're not alone. Whatever you're passionate about, you're not the only one. There's millions of groups for all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, your tribe, your community, your audience. Yeah. And that's why I say in all my videos, everybody has a reason to create content. There's somebody out there that wants the content that you have to put out. So there's people that love Disney, and you're finding them.
Needs, depending what nobody needs more Disney, I guess. But I love that you said that. I almost feel like it's almost like a sin to not share what you love. Now, maybe that's going too far, but like, how dare you not share what you have? Like, isn't that the basis of how society gets better? We share our whatever we got, and I just think you should want to find people who are passionate about what you're passionate about, because that makes life more fun. I think so.
I agree, and it makes your content more interesting too, because your passion is going to shine through in your content. There's people that choose to do content for different reasons. So, some people it's a hobby, some people want to make it a business. But there's,
and it could be both of those things.
It could be, yeah. But I think people should create what they're passionate about, because that passion is going to shine through that content. Your content is going to be a whole lot better because it's something you love and people see that.
Amen. Exactly.
Yeah. And then, the other thing, just to add to what you're saying about YouTube, not only do we have this medium to use, which I agree with you, is amazing that we have this, but it's also free for us to use.
Exactly.
I mean, they're making money off of us, let's be honest. But the more people that stay on and watch, they're making money. But it's free for us to upload.
A lot of us are here because they're sharing that revenue with us. Like, the magic of YouTube, the growth of YouTube, the exponential brilliance of YouTube is when they decided, and who else is doing this, to share their revenue with the creators. I love, like, the TikTok. Oh, I'm monetized on TikTok. Sure you are. How much did you get paid? And I'm not saying I'm sure there's TikTok millionaires. Of course there are. Right. But you've heard of them. Like, the average dude or dudette ain't making dollar bills on TikTok like they are on YouTube. I'm pretty transparent. I'm not here to make a lot of money, but I'm happy to take the check.
Sure.
I got $49 in t-shirt sales, which I didn't even know I sold any t-shirts, and I don't remember, I want to lie, 170 or something like that. I mean, I'm not going to quit my job on 4,000 subscribers, but let's be real. If a meteor hit my job, if my job went away and I just did this 24/7, yeah, you could make a full-time living at this. Of course you could. It's there. YouTube is sharing their revenue. Is Instagram doing that?
Probably the biggest creators. I think there's a monetization of somehow through Instagram, but I doubt that I'll ever see it.
But so the way to make money on Instagram is paid partnerships,
Sure.
and you're probably getting people reaching out to you, and I do now and then, and I'm talking to two right now, but that's not Instagram. Facebook sending you a check. That's
Yep.
YouTube it's like the super chat. Oh, I don't get 100% of that. I love it when I hear that. Oh, you should send it to me to PayPal first. It's
Yeah.
that's a whole conversation. But
I'm with you. I'm with you.
I
Yeah.
love
The
YouTube.
I've got my first YouTube channel, which is monetized, and I'm like you. I'm not getting rich off of it, but I was able to buy a new mic a couple
There
days
you
ago.
go.
And
Exactly. I
so,
put all of the money I get from my content creation either back into content creation or into the stock market or crypto now.
right.
Bill there, Magic the Mouse. Yeah, I bought some Shiba Inu today, up
Yep.
5% today. But anyway, and that's all the same, by the way. That's the same silo for me. That's I want to have more money to take my kids to Disney and my grandkids to Disney for the rest of my life. So it's all the same, really.
So this is
Okay,
Dan
good.
I was talking about. He is
Go,
a
buddy.
beard content creator also, one of the bigger guys, and him and his family
Nice.
go to Disney every single year.
I like Dan already. Let's meet up.
Okay, I'm gonna go back up to Healthy Bearded's comment because I don't know anything about how you're gonna respond to this, but it should be fun.
Okay.
Hercules was the greatest Disney movie of all time. Changed my mind.
Of all time. Oh, so I would say healthy bearded. I would say I love your passion. I would say that I love the hot take. I would say it's a very underrated movie. I would say the greatest Disney movie of all time is really hard to define, and it's a good segue for me. One of the things I'm doing right now is I'm doing a radio show on Magic the Mouse Radio. You see him in chat. WDIZDB.com. Go check it out. Magic the Mouse Radio. It's on. Just say it in your thing or type it in your computer. And every week I'm giving you five, and all throughout the year we're doing the top 100 Disney songs of all time. It was the hardest fun thing I've ever done in my life. Let me say that again. It was the hardest thing that I thought was just fun ever. Why? Because I love a lot of Disney songs. And so to say Hercules is the greatest Disney movie of all time, I mean, I like Meg. No. I mean, for me, like the Lion King is the first one that pops in my head, and then if you want to go into the old days, I'm going to go Mary Poppins. So I think Hercules might be in the top 25 or so, but that's pretty good. But you're healthy bearded, and we can argue over a Dole Whip in next time. Hercules, I know, right? Like
I'm kind of with Ellie here. I'm a huge Lion King fan, so
me and my wife's first movie date was The Lion King, so
oh, that's awesome.
she could feel the love. I should probably shut up right there. But yeah, I mean, it's a hard one to say. I don't even know. If you made me pick right now, I would probably say The Lion King or Mary Poppins. But I mean,
Yeah.
I'm glad you like Hercules.
All right. And Alfred says I just subscribed to your channel. Hey, thank you, sir. I
Nice.
appreciate that. Give you one of those Zelda sounds there. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
You know what I learned about subscribing? It's free. And so they should do it. Like right now, hit the button. All you do is hit a button and you get more Ken.
All
So
right.
do it.
Yeah. So let's see. And I did see today. So yeah, Magic the Mouse Radio says crypto again. I did see that you invested in. I don't know what that is, so you might have to
Oh,
explain it for a minute. But
so Bill is my friend. Bill, I don't know how much I'm allowed to share. Bill has been, so he's the owner of Magic the Mouse Radio. So it's his radio station that he allows me to have this show on. And he's a great guy. And we've been to Disney before. And he's got horrible taste in baseball teams, the Phillies. But other than that, he's a pretty good guy. And he's been trying to get me to buy Shiba Inu, a crypto, since like May. And he's done very well. That's all I'm going to say because I don't have permission to share his numbers.
sure.
And I haven't bought any. I've been buying what I've been buying. I've been doing fine. But he's doing better than me. So I bought $20 worth of Shiba today. It's $21.50 or so right now, which is nice after one dang day. And if you ready for your mind to explode? For that $20, I got 1/2 of 1 million Shiba Inu tokens. That's insane.
So
So
if that blows up,
if it goes to a penny, we will have economic devastation like you've never seen. So yeah, it'd be good. Big
So
fan.
I did jump on the Dogecoin train back a few months ago. I
did
made a
well
couple
with it.
$100.
I bought it 0.9 cents and I sold it 25. I didn't sell it 75. I wish I did, but I did very well with that. Yeah.
So this is fun. We got some comments coming in. So Gary Lewis says Flight of the Navigator. So let's do this. In the
Never seen it.
chat, let us know what is your favorite Disney movie. I'd love to hear Jeff's take on it, being the
I love
Disney
it. Let's do it.
aficionado. Yeah. So let's let us know your favorite
Love
Disney movie.
Is Flight of the Navigator even a Disney movie? I don't know. Aladdin,
Um,
that's a good one. Healthy Bearded. I mean, so on my Disney countdown, which you guys should really go listen to on Magic Mouse Radio, and it'll be on New Year's Day. We're gonna do all 100 songs. So it'll be like 9 hours of me and Disney music. But Aladdin's in there a lot. Aladdin's pretty good. I'm sorry, but Bed Knobs and Broomsticks. No, I mean, me and you and maybe Bill, Magic the Mouse Radio, are probably the only ones in chat who've ever heard of Bed Knobs and Broomsticks.
yeah,
Angela Lansbury stuff.
Magic the Mouse is definitely top 5.
No, they're lying.
Hey, Marlene, how are you? Good to see you. Thanks for
Hi,
stopping by.
Marlene.
So we got Bambi and Fantasia from Ellie.
So, wow, Ellie going in the Wayback Machine. So, Bambi makes you cry in the first 5 minutes. And Fantasia, you got to really like classical music. And I don't mind classical music, but you got to, there you go. Mary Poppins. Come on, that's great.
Dagan, BGG Beard Reviews. He actually lives probably pretty close to you. Dagan, if you want to share, what part of Texas are you from? I don't know if you've ever said exactly where, but
I'm in Fort Worth for anybody that wants to know.
Gary says, yes, the spaceship used in the movie is actually now part of an attraction at Disney World.
Oh, really? Okay.
He's talking about Flight of the Navigator.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna have to look into that.
We got
Little
Little
Mermaid,
Mermaid.
classic. Mm-hmm.
Lion King. I think I may be with Diablo.
Me too.
Setting Star Wars aside, because Star Wars is definitely my favorite. It's now Disney. I love all
Owned
Star
by
Wars.
Disney, but
Yep.
Yeah.
So Lion King, I do like Lion King. If you're talking the classic pre-Star Wars, what Disney was doing, Lion King is probably that for me.
Can't argue with you there.
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Chitty Bang Bang. A little Dick Van Dyke for Chris. Okay. All right. It's not going to make my top 100, but I'll take it. Best Disney movie soundtracks of all time. Tarzan, I agree. Hunchback. I'm not a Hunchback guy. Not a Hunchback guy. But he's the man. He's the one that knows his Disney music. But
Mark Brown says Lion King.
yeah, I love Lion King too.
So Dan says, Jeff, we're going bigger this year. We are staying at Copper Creek at Wilderness Lodge in a suite. Any experience?
So I've stayed at Wilderness Lodge once. I'm DVC. Wasn't Copper Creek. I think I stayed there. Well, I stayed there when I stayed there the night before Star Wars opened. So whatever that date was. And I think Copper Creek wasn't open yet. I wouldn't swear to that. But so I have a little bit of experience at DVC and a little bit of experience at Wilderness Lodge, not Copper Creek. Here's what I can tell you. You're going to love it. Have you been there before? It's amazing. Probably my favorite Disney lobby. That's how crazy us Disney people are. We have crazy Disney or top 5 Disney lobbies conversations. That could be a show that we do. And in my Disney niche, they would have great arguments about it. I could probably win the argument that is the best Disney lobby. It's so massive. It's so beautiful. I love it.
Sounds like we have a new content idea. I'll be looking for
it. And a great pool, by the way. Spectacular pool. And good food. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah. There's 2 restaurants there that are spectacular. And I haven't even done the one on the water, which I hear is great, the bar and grill. So you're going to have a great time. I want to come with you.
So best Disney film is Hunchback of Notre Dame for the music alone.
That's weird. So I don't love the music of Hunchback. So again, I'm doing my top 100, right? No songs from the Hunchback made it into my top 100. Hellfire, some people's favorite Disney song, not for me. Smelly Turtles.
So Jeff, because I don't remember if you said, let's put you on the spot also, if you had to pick the best Disney movie of all time, what is that for you?
Me?
Yes, sir.
I would go with Lion King, not just because you said it. I think it'd be Mary Poppins or Lion King, and I think I would go with Lion King. I love Princess and the Frog. Love it. It's not the manliest thing to say, but I have my favorite to have a favorite Disney princess is a thing in the Disney community. So, you can make fun of me if you want. Princess and the Frog and Rapunzel from Tangle are my favorite too. So there you go.
He said he wasn't a big fan of the type of music until he saw the movie. Soundtrack's incredible.
I guess I got to give the movie another try.
Hey, what's up, Sammy? Good to see you, man.
Superstar.
Oh, this will get the conversation going we were having before the show started. So, what's up, Aaron Rodgers? This is not the Aaron Rodgers, but this is the YouTube friend, Aaron Rodgers. What's up, man?
Aaron Rodgers.
I got to do this, Jeff. I got to do this, man.
Go, Pack, go!
So I'm from San Diego. Chargers moved to LA a couple years ago, which apparently I'm the only one from San Diego that's not mad at them. But I could give you I could sing to you San Diego Superchargers right now, all of it, but I wouldn't do that to your fans here. But yeah, I do love that.
Well,
I've never heard that song.
Let's do it.
I need my background vocalist. They're not here. The three muses. See a couple people got that joke in there. But yeah, so here's my take on the Packers. I kind of hate them. It's not like a personal thing. It's he caught it. Yeah, I'm talking about Dez and Aaron Rodgers. What I really hate about him is the same thing I hated for years about Tom Brady. He's really freaking good, and I'm sick of it. Aaron Rodgers does things. Aaron Rodgers does things that people praise Patrick Mahomes for, but Rodgers has been doing it for 7 years, and I hate how good he is. I hate it. And Dez caught the ball.
We could debate that. I mean, I mean, just yesterday, in a game yesterday when the Packers were playing, Randall Cobb caught a pass almost exactly the same. Come down on the ground, the ball kind of popped a little bit. I could argue that was a catch too, but they called that one as not a catch.
Dez was reaching out to put it in the end zone.
Yeah.
By definition of football move. And then the guy quits, and now he's on, I don't know, Fox or whatever as a ref expert. It drives me crazy. But anyway, the whole conversation.
I like this. Magic the Mouse Radio says, wait, there are Green Bay Packer fans in here. I'm a Packers owner. That is awesome.
He is. He owns a little stock of them, yeah.
Yes, sir.
And he didn't let me buy. If you would have only told me to buy Shiba Inu earlier.
Yep, the only NFL team that fans that they have, stockholders. So
I do love that.
Ellie said my favorite Disney princess is Deadpool.
Okay.
Hey, John, good to see you, man. So
Disney
my
owns,
wife.
like, everything.
What's that?
Disney owns everything, and what is that? It's like a Halloween. What is the name of that movie? Little Shop of Horrors.
Okay.
I don't like the movie, but the dude. Oh man, I'm gonna screw this up. The dude who dresses. This is not a conversation I expect to have. The dude who dresses in drag in that movie. That's like the star. I don't really know what I'm talking about. Somebody was saying is now a Disney princess because now Disney owns that movie, and so that's where my love of Disney probably goes. I'm out. Not my style of movie. I'm just gonna put it out there. Right. Whatever. Didn't expect to talk about that tonight.
So my wife, she says go Pack Go also. Now she's from Wisconsin, and I've been a Packers fan my whole life, so long before I met her. It just so happens her and I met when we were both in the Army.
That's very cool.
So let's see. And I keep trying to ignore this comment, but this is one of my best friends, so go Cards go. We'll see you Thursday, man. Thursday night.
Kyler is 7-0, right? The heck.
They are undefeated, yeah.
I picked the Niners to win that division. That tells you what I know.
So, Magic the Mouse, what's his first name if he doesn't mind you sharing?
Bill. That's Bill.
Bill? Okay. So, Bill, I have been to Lambeau. I have not been there for a game. My wife has been there for a few games, but I did go on one of the tours there. We got to walk through the North Tunnel out onto the field. Nice. Just a beautiful place.
I mean, the history of the NFL, that's the place to be. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, Aaron's got it. The NFL doesn't know what a catch is either, so yeah, they can't be consistent.
I was telling Ken pre-show, kids in the backyard all throughout America know what a catch is, and the NFL doesn't. So I don't normally say Aaron Rodgers. I'm with you, but in this case, it's okay.
Hey, what's up, Dave? Good to see you, man. This is where all the creators hang out. Yeah, Monday night, man. This is where we are.
Love it.
So, all right. So let's go back to your channels. So Disney, we know you love Disney. When did you start creating content, and what made you want to go into content creation?
So this is weird. I got a notification from something a couple of weeks ago that it was my channel anniversary, and it was clearly wrong because I went into, well, just go to your about page, right? It tells you 2016 yesterday was my anniversary, my channel anniversary. So that's when I started this channel. You asked me when and what else did you ask me?
When, and then what made you want to go into content creation?
So I'm a nonprofit executive. I think it was Boys and Girls Clubs at the time. We're now an independent organization, but my career started in '93 with Boys and Girls Clubs. And, being an executive director, CEO of a nonprofit is awesome. It's really fun. But it's definitely a 24/7 kind of thing. And I was having trouble turning it off, frankly. And the stress of it, donors, board members, crazy lunatic parents. I did say that out loud, didn't I? And all that kind of stuff. I needed an outlet. I needed a hobby that I could do that my kids would enjoy. I needed I got baseball cards. I needed something that I could share with the family, that I could do and be passionate about. And so I took a little time to find what it was, and it was YouTube. And I'm glad it was YouTube. And I wasn't sure what kind of channel I wanted. I was leaning heavily towards doing a sports channel early on. I love sports as much as maybe more, frankly, than I love Disney. But I don't know. There's a lot of it, but there's probably more people listening to that too. I just wanted to do something different. I wanted to learn things. I wanted to find a niche, and I have 4 daughters, and they're not into sports, so it really kind of pushed me to the Disney when I was picking the two. And it was something that I wanted to do with them. I didn't think they would necessarily YouTube with me, but we could get into Disney and buy Disney merch and go on trips and all those things. And so it was that twofold thing. Mostly I needed something to turn off my brain. My brain's not going to be on. I'm not going to watch Seinfeld reruns all day long. I'm going to do something with my brain. And it was either going to think about work and get more angry about the stupid that happened today, or the stupid's going to happen tomorrow, or put my mind towards something else. And then moving it to the Disney side of it, it was just something that I believed at the time that my kids would embrace and love. And it's worked pretty good. It's a lot of fun. I mean, somebody in chat earlier said they've made so many friends doing this. That was so far from what I expected. Matter of fact, had you told me that 6 years ago or whatever, I would have mocked it, let alone not believed it. I really would have. Not the kind of guy that is looking to make more friends. I don't mind more friends, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't that I want to find my tribe thing that I so believe in now. It wasn't that at all. But my best friends in the world, Bill, my best friends in the world, the people I talk to the most, I met on this platform, which it's almost still not embarrassing to say, but it feels fake. I don't know why it feels fake to me. But it's real. Like, the people that I connect with the most, I've found on these platforms. It's really kind of weird, but it's freaking awesome. And that's why when we were talking about it earlier, both pre-show and live on the show a little bit, people who are afraid to do this but want to find their place need to get over that whole judgment thing, because you're going to find your best friends. You are. I mean, just think about the math of it. Before, your best friend was somebody who lived in your neighborhood, or maybe somebody you went to your high school with. I mean, you were confined to what you were confined to. Now you're confined to people with an internet connection, which is pretty much everyone, certainly in the English speaking world. So I don't know. I'm going a little diatribe there, but
no, and I'm with you on the whole thing. Same here. A lot of my friends, my best friends in the world, I met right here on YouTube, and I've gone and met some of these people in real life. Back in May, went and hung out in Jersey with Gary, the comment that I put up there, a good friend Gary, Healthy Bearded J. Cruz, met him. We all hung out in Jersey for a weekend. Now, me personally, I am an introverted person by nature. When you put me in front of people, like I can function and all that. So I guess I'm more of I know there's a word, it's slipping my mind right now. I'm kind of I cannot remember the word. I'm sort of a moderate introvert, I guess you would say.
Gotcha.
I can function just fine, so I'm not like super like all the way on the introvert side. But yeah, most of my friends I've met right here on YouTube, so it's a real thing. I mean, you get to know people. You have the same likes, the same passions. You get to know these people, and you talk about things. Yeah, it's real.
It's awesome. I am whatever the vast opposite of introvert is. That's what I am. I know it's extrovert, but it doesn't change. Like I hear that a lot. I don't quite understand it honestly, but in the end, it doesn't matter. Like your tribe is here, or your tribe. I mean, social media, YouTube, a part of that, is the way to find everyone who you wish was in your life. Like I run. I used to be Boys and Girls Clubs. Now we're independent. But you think of that little kid, that little boy, or that little girl who's over in the corner, and he or she's afraid to interact because she doesn't want to not fit in. And by default, by staying in the corner, she's not going to fit in because there's nobody going over there, right? The people they're in the games room. They're not up against the wall. Like they're on the dance floor. They're not up against the wall. Well, YouTube, you don't even have to create, by the way, to find you can just be in the chats or in the
Right.
comment section and find your tribe. I mean, you can never speak and find your tribe. But there's so much more, the more you put yourself out there, the more you'll get judged, sure, and people are terrified of that and whatever. I say get over that, but whatever. It is what it is. People are people. But you're going to find your people if you just look for them here. I mean, we joked about rubber bands, but, I know people who are into Crocs, the shoes that you can
Right.
buy in Walmart or whatever. There's Crocs tribes. There's everything tribes. And, you can go as deep as you want. Like the Disney niche, you can go as deep as you want. You could have a sports channel. It could be just about the Dodgers. It could be just about LA teams. It could be, you know, my best viewed video, the video that brought the most people to my channel hit in a few different niches, including, I don't want to lie to you. What was it? Like a homesteading.
Okay.
Am I thinking what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that kind of, I don't know, I don't know what I'm saying, individualistic group of people. And then there was also, it was a knitting. It hit, I guess because it got shared in, like Facebook groups that were niched down because it was about YouTube and people liked it. But my point is, there's niches out there that I didn't know existed. But if you're into it, you're probably not the only one. So I say you don't even, like, I want to say get out of your comfort zone and go find it, but you don't even have to do that. Type in the things you love on YouTube and go find 50 other people. Now, the first 30 you find might not have content you like, but you're going to find people that you do. And it's pretty
Yeah.
wonderful. I love it.
Yeah. Facebook did a whole campaign. I don't know. I want to say it was probably around the time the whole pandemic thing kicked off. YouTube doesn't like you talking about that C word, but you know what I'm saying.
I do.
Facebook did a whole campaign about Facebook groups about this specific, and they did some of the, if I remember some of the commercials, they talked about a group that was all about kazoos.
There you go. That's perfect.
Yeah, so they did a whole campaign. Me personally, I'm not a real big Facebook fan. I use it for family and
I'm not
business
either.
stuff, but yeah,
I might hate
yeah,
it. Can I say that out loud? Am I allowed to say that out loud? I hate Facebook.
I'll say it. I'm with you.
I do, yeah.
That's the word I was trying to think of, ambivert.
I've never heard of that word. I
So
love when I learn new stuff. Ambivert, that means you're afraid of ambulances. No, I know.
it like a functioning introvert, yeah.
Huh. I don't like ambulances.
Yeah. So Bill, so we were in Manville, around the Manville areas where we were. I don't know what part of Jersey you are, but I'm sure that we'll be up that way again at some point, so I'll have to let you know.
There's only two parts of Jersey that I've ever been into. The really amazing pizza part and the, oh my gosh, terrifying, I just want to not die part. Were you in either of those places, Bill?
So we were talking about that last week because John here, he lives in Jersey, and then Healthy Bearded here in Jersey. So they were talking about places when I come back up there, they would take me, and Jay Cruz
Right.
here, Healthy Bearded, was like, "You sure you want to take them there?"
I know, right? My grandpa was born in Bayonne, and I have a few New Jersey days in my life, and only one of them was good. The other ones were terrifying. Two were good.
So Disney Beersman, I don't think we can talk about that during this show.
Thanks for bringing it up. I'm a Dodgers fan. But hey, we had a good year. We had a lot of crazy stuff happen to us. Really, honestly, one of the best years in the history of the Dodgers. Just didn't get it done. And I do like Freddie Freeman, so that'd be good.
Yeah, but
Well,
Daniel, that's awesome, man. Have fun.
An introvert that eats herbs. I like that.
Right. 5 miles west of Atlantic City. J. Cruz or John or even Bill, you have to let me know where that is in relation to like Newark. I was only in that certain part of Jersey. I don't know Jersey that well. So, all right. So we kind of talked about your passion for Disney already, but how much does your passion for Disney, and this is kind of where I was kind of going with this show about people that have their passions, things they love, and they create content around that. So what are some of the ways you would say, and this would be advice for other creators, what are some of the ways you would say that your passion and love for Disney has helped you when it comes to creating content?
No, I love the question. Well, I don't think being in the Disney niche, I will ever have a day in my life that I could honestly say I don't have an idea for a video or I don't have an idea for a live stream. I mean, Disney is a pretty big niche. Frankly, probably too wide. If someone was asking me, should you do a Disney channel, I would say yes. I would do a niche within Disney. So Disney pins, Disney music. There's so many niches within that, but being that it's wide, there's always news. There's always a new movie. There's always, and now with Disney Plus, I mean, you're talking what used to be Fox and Star Wars and Marvel. I mean, if you just had a Marvel channel, there's news every day. If you just had a Disney movies, if you just had a Disney music, I mean, so to answer your question more directly, how do I use it? I allow it to hit, it comes to me. It's just like if it was a sports, there's always sports news.
Right.
And I think that's a huge advantage of having a wide niche now, having the ability to grow faster. You want to have a tighter niche. I don't really worry about that stuff. Like I want to learn those things and I want to get good at those things and I want to be able to frankly teach those things. But in the end, I'm going to create things that I'm passionate about. Like my best viewed video and my best, the thing that brought the most people to my channel has nothing to do with Disney. And most people would say that's going to screw up your channel. And I guess they're right if my goal is to be as efficient as possible. Now, return on investment is a thing that I believe in. And in my work life, I'm a big return on investment guy. If it doesn't have a return on investment, I probably won't bother with it. That's not how I handle my YouTube channel. If I am excited about it, I'm going to make a video on it.
Right.
Now, again, the Daryl Eves of the world might say, well, that's not the fastest way to grow. That's not my goal. I do want to grow. I'm happy if the check gets bigger. It will get bigger. And God willing, I stick on this earth and, it's a snowball going down the hill. Do I need to maximize every video? I really don't. Matter of fact, that sounds like work to me. And I'm not opposed to if everything aligned and this became a full-time gig and I could replace my full-time job, I wouldn't quit my job. I would just do it less and do this because I love what I do.
Right.
So I don't know. Does that make any sense? My goal as a creator is not to maximize every penny, every viewer watch time. And so therefore while I can learn the best practices and I want to, and I believe I do, I don't always follow them. I feel like did I go off on a tangent on you? I feel like I did.
No, I think that's a great point. I mean, is there really a YouTube creator that follows every best practice 100% of the time? Probably not.
I think there are some who are attempting to. I think I'm a big fan of the the YouTube creator community. I listen to, the Daryl Eves, the Nick Nimmons, the D Nimmons, the, Brian G. Johnsons, the Sean Cannell, the, people at Think Media, Pat Flynn.
Yep.
And, when you're like the coach in me, like I used to coach sports, right? So if you want to throw a football, I can teach you how to throw a spiral. All right. Guess what? Peyton Manning hasn't thrown a spiral yet in his career, and he's probably the second greatest quarterback ever. So there's a whole bunch of ways to get it done. You don't have to do everything perfect, but if your goal is to get there fastest, I think that's unhealthy. But I do think there are people out here who are just trying to make a dollar, and I'm not against that. By the way, I'm very capitalist. I am so down with capitalism. I love it when people pay me, but that's not what this is for me. That's a nice bonus. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I got you. And that's kind of where I was going with what I was saying. The coach in me also we talked a little bit last week about, overthinking and perfectionism, right? And I think now, obviously, I'm not up with those guys. Those are great creators that I've learned a whole lot from, and I'm still learning. But I do think, too, though, that for most people, let's say for 99% of creators, if we focus on hitting those best practices 100% of the time, then it's going to slow us down because we're not up
I
where those
agree
guys
with
are.
that. I love that. I love that take. That's not what I thought you were going to say. I love that take. I think if somebody was asking me what you should do what you're passionate about, and you should get better every time.
Right.
1% a day is enough to be the best in the history of the world. Dang. I mean, what the heck? Nobody's getting better at everything 1%. So in 2019, I daily vlogged. I daily vlogged to see if I could. I daily vlogged because people said it would be hard. I daily vlogged because I wanted to see if I could do it. And I learned a whole lot of things. And I think that, how do I say this? When the goal is just to create a piece of content that you're passionate about, that's fun. And that gets your creative juices going. When the goal is, like, if I was editing somebody else's video, that sounds a lot like work to me. Because it is, right? I think there's nothing wrong with making this a business. I am not opposed to that. I don't want anyone to think I'm saying that. But I think it's going to come through if you're talking about things you're passionate about. It's easy for me to be passionate about Dodger baseball or Dole Whip or the Haunted Mansion or,
right.
I mean, I could talk politics too, but I'd piss off half people. I don't want to do that. But things that you're really into, and I don't mind making people mad. So but it is what it is. I think that to try to maximize every ounce of everything you put out on YouTube, to me, sounds a little more like work than I'm willing to do for a hobby.
It is, for sure. Absolutely. So Dan says coach here for 2 first year ever not coaching. Yeah, Dan's an example.
Wow.
He made a choice, and he was public about this, so I don't think he'd mind me sharing. In a nutshell, he made a choice of he had to take back some time somewhere. Content creation, family, coaching. And so he decided to retire from coaching.
Dan, I understand. I coached high school football and baseball for, I guess, 5 and 6 years between the two. And I thought it was going to be the way my career went. I expected that's where I was going to go. And I loved it. I loved the ability to reach young men and make a difference in their lives and being around sports. But in the end, I was unwilling to put in the hours that a good football coach and a baseball coach too was going to put in and still have a happy marriage.
It's a lot. So, I've never coached like that, but I played high school sports, and I know those coaches, they spend a lot of time. It
was great. Like, I loved those years. I had a ball. It was when I was in college and, the first year or two afterwards. And it was the path I was going to go down. But some of my favorite people, the people that I looked up to as an athlete, and the people I got to work with, I saw what it was doing to them. And while they loved it and they were making a difference in, as a football coach at a high school level, you've got, 100 kids on the varsity team, 80 kids on the JV team. You get to make a difference in their lives. You get them for 3 years and you get to make a large difference in a lot of people's lives. There's value in that. But to do it for 4 months out of the year or whatever it is, to do it right, you're not going to see your family at all for 1/3 of the year. And that's just something I just chose not to do. And then even at the higher levels, it's even, while there's way more rewards, there's also way more sacrifices.
Right.
And I don't know what level he coached or what sports he coached or whatever, but it's definitely just like anything, right? If you're going to be great at something, you're going to have to put in the time, at least in the beginning, right? I guess when you get to the top of the mountain, you can coast a little, I suppose. But
yeah,
22-year-old Jeff wasn't ready to 25-year-old Jeff for sure wasn't ready to give up 1/3 of his year and not see the wife.
Yeah, the only sports coaching I ever did was like Little League T-ball. And most of that time was just spent making sure that the kids don't chase butterflies and sit on second base. So
sure. T-ball's the best. We're getting way off topic, but you bring me back if you don't want to hear this, but my grandpa umpired at the end of his life, local T-ball. And I love baseball. I'm a baseball nut, and I was coaching baseball all the time. I was at the high school. Some of my favorite moments were going to my grandpa. He wasn't even a team. He was the umpire. some of his t-ball games and just watching the kids play for the joy of it. And every other game, some kid ran the wrong way around the bases, and it was my favorite part of my day every time it happened. So there's nothing wrong with that. That's awesome.
Yeah, little kids of that age, they're fun. I was coaching my son's t-ball team, and I'm dead serious. It was mostly, the kids out in the outfield chasing butterflies, or like the kid gets tired and sits on second base, or you know how it is, kids that age.
I do. I love it. Those are great memories. T-ball is beautiful.
Yeah. So the next question I have, I didn't actually have this question scripted this way, but I'm going to ask it anyway because we'll make it a two-part question. So going back to Disney, because I'm curious about this, what is your most memorable moment? If you had to pick one moment of any time you've ever been to Disney, what would be your most memorable moment?
At a Disney park?
Yeah, anything Disney related, yeah.
Oh, Ken, I don't even know if I'm going to have. I have hundreds of them. Boy, it's not good live stream content to watch me think for a while. When we got married, like everybody does, you invite people from all over America to come, and some do and some don't. And we chose the first day of our honeymoon to go to Disney for a couple of reasons. We were in Southern California at the time. We love Disney, but it was a place that, you're getting married, you're busy, and you don't really get to see them. So we invited everyone, but especially the out-of-towners, to stay for a day and go to Disney. And a few people did that. That was freaking awesome. So we were foster parents for years in California. We have 4 daughters. Me and my wife have 4 daughters. The first 2 daughters we have, whatever the right way to say that is, we adopted. They were our foster kids. Not talking about those 2, but when we had a bunch of foster kids, there's this thing called, I don't know. When the foster parents want to go take a break. So there was, we would be the family that would get the kid for a week or the weekend or whatever. And they weren't our foster kids. They were going to just be with us for a couple of days. And we would do that 5 or 6 times a year. We would take them to Disney. Some of my favorite memories are that, because we would never tell them we were going. And it was freaking awesome. I love that.
Those are memories for those kids.
Yeah. I'm sure they don't remember our names anymore, but they remember the trip. So I love that. I don't know, man. The first time I went and saw the Millennium Falcon, I just told you that wasn't with my kids. That was with a bunch of adult lunatic Disney YouTubers, and that was great.
There's the word you're looking for, I think. Respite.
Respite, yeah, respite care. Look at who the R.H. Mill. Exactly. But my favorite memories hasn't happened yet. I've got 3 grandkids, and I got a whole bunch more coming, I'm sure. And I'm trying my best. All the money that comes in, send a super chat next time you're on one of my live streams. It's going to Disney. It's taking my kids and my grandkids to Disney. So my favorite memory will probably be my next one, but I got a bunch. Oh, geez. I got a bunch. We could do this all night. I got a bunch.
I'm game. I'm good.
Well, so this memory I'm going to share with, it wasn't even my memory. It's my family's memory. I wasn't even there. So we used to be annual pass holders. I would go to work running the Boys and Girls Club in town, and we homeschooled our kids, and wifey would on occasion take the kids to Disney while I was at work. Okay. So she's going, and because, do you know Fantasmic? Disney people know what Fantasmic is. You're at Disneyland. You're in out front of Haunted Mansion, and it's my wife and 3. We didn't have all 4 yet. 3 of my daughters. All right. Probably 10, 8, and 2 or something like that at the time. And so she looks like a single parent with 3 kids, right? But she's not, but who cares? So this gentleman comes up to her and says, "Hey, are you here to watch Fantasmic?" And she's like, "Yeah, get away from me, creep," because he's alone, that whole weirdo thing. And so he pesters her enough that they have a conversation. He says, no, trust me. I work here. I find somebody every day that I come to do this. I've got a blanket laid down. It's the best spot. He went to the park. He used to go to the parks, and he would set out a blanket. He would sit there and he would engage with the fans on his day off. And he would set up his place, and he would go find a single mom with a bunch of kids and bring them up there. Now, she wasn't a single mom, but he was a long-time Disney employee. I haven't told the story even on my channel. And his wife sometimes, including that night, was Mickey Mouse in Fantasmic. You weren't allowed to know that, but he let us know later on. He was actually he didn't get hired by Walt Disney, but he worked there when Walt Disney worked there. He's passed away since. He donated one to his church, and his family probably still has it. One of the original, he had two of the original ticket booths that you could buy at Disneyland. He owned two of them, and one he gave to his church. But anyway, we befriended him because of that moment. That I'm screwing up the story. It's way better than what I described, and I should let my wife tell it. But we became really lifelong. I mean, he's passed away since, but wifey and the girls and him, we became really good lifelong friends. And the day we moved out of California, we moved here. He came to our house. We were having we don't want to take this stuff to Texas sale, right? And I said, I got a Disney stuff, and he messaged me on Facebook and said, hey, I'll come by. It didn't matter the money. He had the money, and I just gave him the stuff. And I don't know, it was just stuff that I didn't want to take with me. But long story short, those kinds of stories that I really could give you a lot more detail on. It's pretty magical. It's pretty cool. Like this guy who worked at Disney on his day off did that every day. And I mean, not every day, but a lot. And that's a pretty cool memory. I mean, it's kind of more of a family memory than my memory, but
sure. That's awesome.
Anyway, yeah, it's pretty cool. I should let my wife come on the show once and on my Good Morning Disney or something to share the story, because she'd have a much more detailed version of it. And, it was huge. It's pretty cool.
I know exactly what you mean. My wife is a lot more detailed than I am too, so we're right there.
Well, and it's her story more than mine.
Yeah. So. Yep. So shifting to your channel then, this is a question I had. What is one of the most memorable pieces of content that you've created around Disney or travel or anything that you do on the channel?
Most memorable? I can tell you my favorite videos that I make. I don't know if they're most memorable. My favorite videos are the road trip to Disney videos. I love having it for forever. They always do well. I mean, for my channel, I mean, everything's relative, right? But they usually are my goal on every video is to get 1 out of 10. You guys know what I'm talking about with the tube buddy thing.
Yep.
Just want to be 1 out of 10. And I want it to be my best viewed video out of my last 10. But the truth is I really want to be 4 out of 10, 4, 3, 2, or 1. I'll even take a 5. But that time that I go on my, a trip to Disney, it's always 1 out of 10. And because people want to see it, and we like to jump in the car. Road trips are fun, and we're a pretty silly family, and it's cataloging. That's right. It's saving for forever the memories, and I watch them. I don't watch them every day, but I'll go back and I'll watch it, once a year or so. And my first video I ever did on this channel was the first day I ever Disney pin traded. It not only serves as oh my gosh, I did that on video, but it was the first time I got to do something that my kids were passionate about. So that's really cool. I think those are the ones that are probably most memorable that pop in my head instantly.
Yeah. And you've got several fun, one of them, I don't know why I remember this one the most. I just started watching your channel a couple months ago, but you posted a video and I don't remember what you titled the video. It was something like I love these guys or, something, but it was were they the seagulls? The seagulls that turn their heads and
the from Nemo, right?
Yeah, from Finding Nemo, yeah.
From Nemo. Mine, those guys, yeah.
Right. That's awesome. Yeah, seeing stuff like that because I've never been to Disney. I just sat and watched that like, oh, this is pretty cool.
So that day I got probably 6 minutes of those. Are they animatronics? I don't even know what to call them. They're these metal things that flap around and move, and they'd say mine, 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 and they're fascinating, and they're in a fun area, and there's always little kids laughing. And for a season, I was using a different clip of that to end my videos, because you get a 6-minute video, you take 15 seconds out,
right?
And it was different every time, and people loved it, and I loved it. It's fun. I don't know why those things are so funny, but they are.
They are.
I've reused that a few times.
I mean, I literally sat here like this because obviously I'm watching 90% of content is watched on phones. Just sitting here like this the whole time, like, oh, this is pretty cool. Just watching.
Thanks for doing that too, by the way.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So, going back to when you first started, how would you say that your content, and the reason I like to ask this question is because, like I've said a few times, and I say in pretty much every video, I just want people to start. I want people to get over that initial fear of starting a channel or being afraid of of criticism or not knowing how, whatever. I just want people to start creating that want to create. I want them to create. So obviously we all in the beginning of our channels were like, oh, this video was garbage. This video was garbage. We don't like our initial, especially in video number 1, right? So how would you say your content has changed from video number 1 until now?
So that video number 1 on this channel was definitely that, I think it was the last day of one of our trips. I wouldn't swear to that. We were at one of the all-star resorts in Disney, which are the budget resorts. And one of our favorite things to do was begin and or end our day in the gift shop. And in the gift shop, they sold all kinds of stuff, including Disney pins. And you could trade. So Disney pin trading is a thing that Disney nuts do. And that was really the impetus for the channel because my girls were really into Disney pin trading. So I didn't really get it. I actually, hey, RJ, glad you popped in, buddy.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
Yeah, RJ's a good guy. Anyway, so Disney pin trading was a thing that my girls were really into that I didn't really understand. But on that trip is when I first did it. I did it for the first time on that trip. And it was when it was the first video I ever put on the channel. So it's me not only learning do I want to be a YouTuber, but I was also learning, I was doing a thing with my kids. And so I love that video. Is it a good video? Yeah, it's a great video. Would I watch it and think, oh man, I didn't do anything right. I'm not saying it's a good video because I didn't get 1 million views. It wasn't well done. It's shaky. It's my first video. It was with me and my kids. I love that video. So I don't know. I think that whole, of course I want people to like me. I don't want to sound like this arrogant fool who thinks that everyone is in love with him. I'm not that guy. I don't have the disease that most people have that I think everyone's supposed to like me. I don't even like that fantasy. I think it's stupid. I don't like everybody. And I don't know why are we supposed to think that everyone's supposed to like us? I think what we're supposed to do is share our us. If my mom likes me some of the time and my wife likes me most of the time, I'm probably winning. And so, but when you're creating, you're going to find your fans. Somebody smarter than me once said, your biggest fan hasn't met you yet. And your biggest hater is probably at the Thanksgiving table, right? Like, it's just, you got to get through that. And so my first video, I think it's I love it. But it's not because it's a great video. What have I done better? What is it different? I mean, my first year or 2 or 3, the hardest thing for me was integrating music. I still think I suck at it. No, let me say that. I still suck at it, but it's certainly better than it was. Well, I don't know. I hope it's better than it was. Transitions, man, I used the heck out of every transition I could find that first year, but I would suggest people do it that way. Like for me, for my personality, I'm still not worried about somebody saying, oh, that was a horror. I want to try things. And, I want to have, when I go to Disney, I'm going to Epcot and I want to be there for food and wine. And I want to try some food I've never tried before. I love bacon, but I don't want only bacon. I want to try. The first time I ever had charcuterie, I fell in love with it. I'm glad I wasn't that first guy to try a mushroom, but somebody had to go try a mushroom, right? Like, I don't mind stubbing my toe. And so to get back to your question, I think it's grown in every possible way. Of course it has. How could it not? Like if you're just trying to get a little better with every video, like that year I told you, 2019, when I daily vlogged, the goal was to get better every day. You have to try to not accomplish that goal if you're doing a video every day or even every week or even every month. So this is a really long answer to the question, but I think probably the answer, if I had to cut it down, is in every way possible. And I hope that's the truth. I don't know. Maybe that's the worst answer ever. I'm not sure, but that's what.
No, there's a lot of great things right there that, the biggest thing from that is, there's a lot of great stuff there, but you talked about,
hey, Samson.
A lot of people don't start. Yeah, just Samson. What's up? Good to see you. I think this is your first time here also. He said, did someone say bacon?
He's going to make me sing too. He doesn't even try and he makes me sing.
Tried to get you to sing once. You wouldn't do it. I don't know.
San Diego. Okay, that's all.
There we go. So, no, but one thing you said in there, one reason that a lot of people don't start creating content is because they don't want that criticism, or we'll even take it further, because criticism's okay. Constructive criticism is great. But then there's also a lot of hate. If you're going to put anything on the internet, it doesn't matter what it is, you're going to find people that don't like it and don't like you, and they don't have a reason for it. They just hate, right?
They have a reason for it. It has nothing to do with us.
Right, exactly. And creators won't start because of that, and that's great advice and a great thing to think about is you have to know that's going to happen, so be okay with that. Create content anyway.
Yeah, what you said, perfect. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'll go back to sports. I loved sports as a kid. I love sports as an adult. I can't imagine not shooting a basketball because I was afraid of the people might laugh because I missed. Of course I'm going to miss. Like in baseball, you're going to go to the Hall of freaking Fame if you get a hit 3 out of 10 times. 7 out of 10 times you're going to fail. That's in baseball. I mean, what did we do? When did it happen? Has it just been always? Is it in our DNA? Why is failure discouraged? Failure should be encouraged.
Right.
It doesn't make any sense. And I'm not going to pretend like I like losing. I'm a scoreboard guy. I like winning. I'm not going to pretend like I'm not affected when someone says whatever they say. But when some rando who I don't even know in my life says something negative about me, I honestly, someone has to explain to me why I should care.
Yeah.
I don't know. My wife says it, 50-50 shot I'm going to care. But some rando, I don't get that.
Yeah. So Just Samson says, please ask Jeff about his secret croc collection.
So I hear, I don't really believe this to be true, but I hear rumors that there are actually human beings that like Crocs on their feet. And Samson's one of them. And I am not one of them. And I don't really know. This is an arrogant position because I've never put plastic Crocs on my feet. I don't suspect it'll ever happen. I'm not a big drinker and I don't plan on dying. I don't know how else they would get on my feet. But Just Samson is clearly the king of the Crocs community on YouTube, and he should be.
Okay.
It's
Well,
not
I mean,
my people, it's his people.
I'll tell you, I'm not part of the Crocs community, but I do work from home for the most part. I'm in the office this week.
Oh,
and
no, I know where we're going with this.
I was looking to see it. I don't guess I wore them down here. And this guy gives me crap for it all the time, and I don't care. I wear Crocs every day. I wear Crocs.
I mean, I don't mind you wearing Crocs. I generally don't care what people wear in any way. But I think there's this issue. If like when I'm at an end cap, like I'm at Walmart and I'm at the end cap, I might pick up some spicy Doritos. I might pick up a box of Cheez-Its, but that's not where I want to get my footwear. I don't know. I don't even care about shoes. It's weird that I have such a passionate position on this, and this is the kind of thing, like if you're a YouTube creator, you don't have to understand, but it's going to happen to you. There's this thing that you'll say that you think is a throwaway line. Maybe you got 4 people in the live chat, and 6 months later, it's still the topic. And I kind of love it, It's Crocs suck. I'm not putting them on my video.
So it's funny because what you just said, that's Chris. I don't even remember how the topic ever came up. Chris, you'll have to remind me, but he's been giving me crap about Crocs now for probably a year.
I think it's like sauerkraut. You're either in or you're out. I'm out.
Crocs and Hey, look, when I do, this is so funny. When I do go to the office, I wear a pair of Hey Dudes.
So I have a question.
Yes.
What are Hey Dudes? Is that a
so they're a super light pair. They're not down here. Hey, Mel, have one of the kids bring my Hey Dudes down. They're up in the kitchen. They're just a real comfortable pair of shoes.
Bring me a Diet Pepsi.
if you don't mind.
I mean, you're going to the kitchen.
Right. Yeah, but I will say too.
You asked somebody to go to the kitchen to get you shoes, right? Is that what I just?
Yeah, that's where they are, because I came home and I've got a spot where I put my shoes under. They're out of the way, but I don't know. It's a whole.
Let's have it right. Hold on. Let's try. Hey, sorry, anyone? Not really. Sorry, not sorry. Hey, Google. Wait a minute. What is it? Hey, Google Broadcast.
What's the message?
Hey, can somebody bring me a Diet Pepsi, pretty please? Love you. Let's see if you get.
Okay, broadcasting now.
Let's see if I get one, and let's see if you get your. What are they? Hey Dudes. It's a race. Oh, I lost already.
so they.
Oh, those look
sweet,
though. I like those.
They look like when you wear these, and I wear they're not khakis. I don't know what you call these things. I get them at Walmart. They're
Those are
Wrangler,
not-
but they're
Those look nothing like Crocs. We're on the same page?
no, they're totally different. Totally different.
Okay.
But these are just as comfortable. So
I mean,
yeah, these are
again, I'm the least fashion forward guy on the planet. I couldn't care less what I wear, let alone what other people wear. But I'm wearing Crocs. I'm not.
So I will say, and yeah, just Samson, I'll tell you my story about this one. So I got my Crocs at Myers, and they're fleece lined, so they're very comfortable.
What? Oh, wait.
Sorry, Dad, what was it you needed?
Can you say it louder?
What was it you needed? You didn't keep.
I don't need anything. It was being silly, but I love you. Thank you.
That's awesome.
I love it.
So the camo Crocs. So we were in Gatlinburg back spring break. We went to Gatlinburg for spring break, and they have a Crocs there at the Tanger Outlets. And I went to the Crocs store just to get a pair of fleece lined camo Crocs, and they did not have them.
That is something I've never done, and I'm sure I never will do. Johnny wears them every day. I mean, again, I don't mind. You be you. I wear Mandalorian shirts. I don't know, but you don't have to wear Mandalorian shirts. I just don't. They're plastic. They look. I know you guys say they're comfortable. They look like I don't like my feet sweaty, and they look like they're gonna be instant sweat, and it's gonna. I'm out.
So Chris says, I still hate you for that photo. We're going to get back on topic, but this is funny that it went here. He said, I still hate you for that photo. So if he's talking about the photo, he sent me a couple of Croc pictures. But if he's talking about the one I think he's talking about, he sent me, and I don't remember the caption, but it was one of those, Glock and a Croc, right? There's those memes like, you've heard of Elf on the Shelf. What about this?
Yeah.
And it was a picture of somebody that had YouTube doesn't like, but you know what I'm talking about, the G word, in their Crocs. So he sent me that picture. I went upstairs. I do own a few of those, and I stuck one in my Croc and I took a picture. I was like, there you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well,
And we're a divided house. My wife can't wear them. She doesn't like them. So
I vote for her. I'm wearing Cloud. Yeah. I mean, I've never worn Cloud shoes, but I understand. I think I'm with you. I feel like I'm coming off very judgmental. I don't mean to be so judgmental, but
these are fun. These are fun judgments though. They're fun to talk about.
I'm sure there's someone out there going, what?
Unsubscribing from this guy now. No,
Yeah.
don't unsubscribe anybody.
Speaking of Aladdin,
Nice.
feel free to me, not to Ken, to my
Yeah, I'll have to go back and see if I can find the picture. Just Samson. I don't know if you're on IG, but try to find me. I'll try to find you, whatever. I'll see if I still have that picture. It was pretty funny.
Just Samson's a good guy.
All right, so reining it back in.
Oh, thanks, Alfred.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah, for sure, Alfred. I like watching this stuff. I'm looking forward to Good Morning Disney coming back.
Thank you. Yeah, next week. Should be next week.
See you, Marlene. I appreciate you stopping by.
Thanks for coming in, Marlene.
All right, back to content creation. So you've been doing this for a while. If a new creator, sent you a message, came to you, whatever, they wanted one piece of advice for starting a YouTube channel, for creating content, and you can do more than one if you want, but what would be the advice you would give a brand new creator?
Don't overthink it. Get better every time. So if you just do that, don't think that your videos are the best, and don't worry about that being a goal. Just hit record. I'll steal it. Somebody really smart put that on their thing. But I love that. Like Sean Cannell talks about on Think Media, you just have to press play. You just have to hit and more important than that, you got to press upload. Like you got to be okay with putting it out there, and stop overthinking it. You don't have to put out perfect content. Matter of fact, you never will. So stop that being the goal. But with that, just promise yourself you get better every time. So I'm trying to say this more clearly. Rather than going for perfection, go for being better than yesterday. Also, and this is impossible to stay away from 100%, but comparison kills joy. Somebody smarter than me once said it, and I love saying it. I'll say it again. Comparison kills joy. Who you need to compare yourself to is you yesterday. More importantly, you 7 days ago. More importantly, 30 days ago, 90 days ago, and 365 days ago. Why does he get more views than me? Why is my video is better than my mom says I'm the best? You know, you're not the dude who thinks. I never watched that show. What's that show when they sing?
American
American
Idol?
Idol. I never watched American Idol, but I would sometimes when it first came out, like that first week, watch it because I love watching Susie and Jimmy. But my mom says I'm the best ever. I love watching them be so horrible, and so you got to stop thinking your stuff's perfect. Okay, it's not, and that shouldn't be the goal. Listen to other people, watch other people's content. Don't steal their content, but learn from them, and just do it. Like exactly, Samson. MKBHD probably 90% of the people who watch a lot of it would say he's the best tech channel out there. Took him over 100 videos to get his first 100 subscribers. I'm going to say that again. Took him over 100 videos to get his first 100 subscribers. And I can go down the list. I used to keep it next to me. I don't have it here. But 4 or 5 of the biggest creators, it took them quite a while. Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast is huge. It took him forever to get any traction. The arrogance to say that I put out 60 videos and I only have, shut up. It takes more than that. It don't think about it so much that you don't post it. And then once it's done, learn from it, but let it go and get better every time. And I guess thirdly, create content that you're passionate about. Too often I work with young people, and too often they know I have a YouTube channel, and too often they just want to be famous, which is a stupid goal in my opinion, but whatever, go ahead, whatever. But
Right.
You should, if you're thinking about creating, obviously you're going to create what you're passionate about. So it's going to be about you first. Okay. You can't ignore that, but then it's got to be about the viewer. You're giving them information, you're giving them entertainment, you're giving them whatever you're giving them. It's got to be about them at that point. So it's, see the dichotomy there. It's you're passionate about it, but you're serving them. So Good Morning Disney, I'm going to talk about things that hopefully they're, oh, wow. Or, oh, I didn't think about it that way. Or, I think that whole expectation of growth quickly is where early creators blow it. Right. So I don't know. I went off on a little tangent there, but do it. Shut up and do it. Hit upload. Get better every day. Create things you're positive about, and then think about the viewer. And you're not Mr. Beast, and you shouldn't think you're Mr. Beast.
Right. Well, I mean, Think Media. I think Think Media. What are they? 10 years old at this point? I mean, and if you go back and watch some of their early videos.
Yeah. Well, have you seen Sean? So you know Sean Cannell. Have you seen his first video?
Yeah. Yeah. It's
hilarious. He actually says, I'm not going to try to be entertaining or something like that. I'm not going to have high energy or something like that. Like you don't have to be good the first time. You just have to get better every time.
And if I'm thinking of the right video, I'm pretty sure that's the one where he's sitting in the back of a car, right? He's not even like in a studio. I'm pretty sure.
The one I'm thinking of, he's in a room. I don't know, but he's shown it on a few events that I've watched or been to, and it's pretty funny. But you don't have to be anybody else. You can just be you. Just get better every time. And just like anything, if you want to throw a curveball really good, the first time you pick up a baseball, it's not going to curve.
Right.
But you can learn how to throw a curveball.
Yeah. Well, that's all great advice. I mean,
exactly.
There's so much to take from that. A creator.
I think they should think in terms of years, not videos. Like if you go a whole year and you put out 27 videos, you probably don't really want to grow. That's not enough.
Right. Consistency. Absolutely.
You got to get a library of content.
Yes. And you talked about your channel being about you. Your channel has to be, and I know this is not what you were saying, your channel, ultimately, your content has to be about your audience, because there are two of the biggest forms of content on YouTube are entertainment and education, right? You're either entertaining somebody or you're educating somebody on what they're looking for. Either way, you're solving a pain point for somebody. Somebody either wants that education, they want to know how to do X, or they want to be entertained. I mean, entertainment, something we're all looking for, right? If you're not solving those pain points for people, then they're really not going to watch. So that's what your goal should be, is making your content about them. My video this morning, I talked about, a couple of easy ways to come up with new video ideas in your niche. And my number one piece of advice was listen to what your audience is saying. Look at their questions in your live streams. Look at their questions when they comment on your videos. If they message you on social media, take the questions that you're getting from your audience and make videos about that, because that is what your audience wants. They want you to solve a problem for them. So,
They will tell you what they want more of. There's no doubt about that. And also then when within your niche, you can go see what other creators who you enjoy within your niche are creating about.
right.
And you can create on those things too. I mean, you know, is there anyone on YouTube who hasn't done a Squid Game video yet? You know, I mean, and that's okay. It's are we talking about Sean Cannell, Samson? That's cool. Oh, thank you. I
Yeah.
can't right now though.
He had one. I know he had one early where he was in the back of a car. He was vlogging. Maybe not have been the first one though.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. You might be right, but yeah, Sean Cannell's one of my favorites. But yeah, edutainment, exactly. I think that, like you said, it's got to be about the audience in not in 100% totality, but certainly the majority of it. And if you just listen, if you're just attuned to it, they're going to tell you.
Right. And then the other thing you talked about was competition. As creators, we're not in competition. I'm not in competition. I can't talk with Jeff. Jeff's not in competition with me. I'm not competing with, Doc Rock or Heather or Dan C or Tom Buck or any of these other creators. Your competition is yourself. More creators take themselves out of the game because they worry about other people. They compare themselves to others. I'm competing with myself every single day.
You 30 days ago, you 90 days ago, you 365. It's enough to compete against. You don't need. Yeah. It's impossible, and we get in that. Well, it's not fair. How come this? How come that? It's fully fair. It's 100% fair. The algorithm wants you to be seen.
Right.
If people aren't watching your content, learn from that. Find out when they're leaving your videos, which is easy to do, and stop doing what you did there, or do less of that or whatever.
Right. All right, Jeff. So last question I had, what does the future hold for Dole Whipped Dad or any of your channels, I guess? What kind of future plans do you have that?
Well, a lot. I mean, on a global, to answer that globally, a lot of smiles for me and my family, and hopefully a lot of smiles for the viewers. That's really the main goal. As it relates to content creation, I'm going to dive into the podcast world. I'm going to have a Disney music podcast here pretty quick, and got some other things too that we've got going. The Animated Investor, I'm going to probably post a couple times a week on, ideally next year. It's just deciding where I want to put, like, this is my extra time, right? And where I want to, like I was saying before the show, this is on Ecamm. This is freaking sweet. It's mint. I've got to learn Ecamm. I've got to just take my hobby time and learn that. I've got a new camera I haven't even taken out of the box. I've got, there are things I've got to commit to take it to the next level. So some of those things are coming, but I'd like to get more into audio. I'm loving the radio show that I mentioned earlier, Magic Mouse Radio, the Disney Countdown. I'm loving that. So I want to get into the podcast part of it again. A Disney music podcast is going to happen for sure, and a couple other ideas. And then just more, just having more fun, and hopefully making people smile, and maybe even teach people a thing now and then. Hopefully.
So Magic Mouse Radio, that's something I know I've heard you talk about that before. I never, because I don't know. YouTube is where I've got a routine, right? I jump in the morning. Whenever I sit down to work, I hit YouTube, and I usually listen podcast style, which a lot of us do. I'll let it play while I'm working.
I do.
But the radio, where can people find that radio show?
WDIZDB.com. It's an internet radio station, or you can just type in Magic Mouse Radio on any Google search or wherever. Take you right there. It's Disney music 24/7. My show plays, 8 or 10 times a week. And the first showing of it, well, actually, it might be one happening right now, but the first showing of it, or the first listening to it, is 12 noon on Monday. And thank you, Mrs. Coach. I appreciate that. And
she gave you a couple of pineapples.
I'll take them. Yes, please. Throw them on the grill. It'll be on New Year's Day. It'll be like an 8, 9, 10-hour show. It'll be thank you, Brood City. It'll be an all-day show pretty much, and it's all 100 songs. And again, that goes to what we talked about. It was, somebody said their favorite Disney movie. It was so hard for me to rank them, and it was so fun, but it was really hard. But it wasn't like work. It was like fun hard. But yeah, when this year's over, when all the songs are announced and played, I've got some ideas for next year. I got to talk to Bill about, but it's been more fun than I even thought it would be. And I like radio. I've always liked radio. I've listened to radio for years. I still enjoy listening to the radio. And, it's kind of a kick to hear yourself on the radio. And again, internet radios, and it's like Sirius XM. It's not on Sirius XM, but it's just, I like it. It's fun. And the feedback I've got is way, way nicer than it should be. So it's just been a lot of fun. And his listeners are through the roof. It's going crazy. So if you're interested in that, you can email me, dolewhippeddad@gmail.com. I'll tell you more, send you the link. But yeah, it's Magic of the Mouse Radio, and it's awesome. And he's a good guy.
I'm definitely gonna check it out. I don't know why I haven't before. I'm not afraid to admit that I enjoy Disney music. Like you were saying, Disney is in the business of making people happy, and that's what the music does. It's just good music. So,
well, and when I first decided to do this project, I looked at other people's ranking, like their top 10 Disney songs. Some people had top 100 Disney songs, and it was amazing how different they all were. Amazing. Like, there's a bunch of songs that you're going to see in a lot of people's top 10s, but there's such a diversity. I mean, there's a song, Hellfire, that was in a lot of people's top 10. It didn't even make my top 100, and it's in Hunchback that they were talking about earlier. There's
right.
just, there's a lot. There's a lot of content. There's like the favorite Disney movie. I mean, that's hard.
There's a lot of them, a lot to pick from.
Absolutely.
All right, so that's Magic of the Mouse Radio. Now, I do let people know where else they can find you. I know I don't have everything here. I do have this YouTube channel and then your Instagram, but let people know where they can find you, Jeff.
Well, I'm over at Twitter too, Dole Whipped Dad over on Twitter, but YouTube and Instagram is where I'm most active. I've got a Facebook group, couple Facebook groups actually, but one's about the Disney content, one's about the creator content, and you can find me at Jeff Bates at Facebook. I'm not real active over on Facebook. I mean, I'm doing it because I feel like I should, but as I mentioned earlier, I'm not a big fan of it. But yeah, Instagram and YouTube are the main places.
Yeah, about the same for me. Yep. And as for me, everybody, you're on my YouTube channel now, but I'm on social media. Just hit record. Names are different a little bit in some places, but if you just look at Just Hit Record, you should find it. It's all linkable from my website, kenthecontentcoach.com, and you can reach me by email. If I could do anything for you guys, feel free to reach out. And that is me. So, Jeff, I appreciate you coming on, man, and hanging out.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity. And everybody in chat, thanks for popping in.
We'll have to do this again. There's a lot. It was a fun conversation. There's a lot more we could talk about.
I've enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot.
So, same here. Everybody in the chat, thank you guys so much for hanging out. We will see you. So next Monday is going to be awesome. I'm excited about next Monday. Next Monday is going to be a come stream with me kind of thing. So if you're in the chat now or if you're watching this after, and I'm going to talk about this, I'm going to push this all week, but if you've never live streamed before, if you want to live stream, I want you to come live stream with us. So jump on. It'll be me. We'll treat it as kind of a Q&A kind of thing. But if you want to live stream, I want to give you a chance to kind of break that initial fear and jump on with me. So that's what we're going to do next Monday. The following Monday, we have on Christmas Clatter. Todd, awesome dude. That's actually this hoodie that I'm wearing, Christmas Without Cancer.
Okay, that's what I thought it said. I wasn't sure. Yeah,
so it's something. Do you know Todd, Christmas Clatter?
I feel like, I don't think I do, but it's also ringing a bell at the same time, so I'm unsure.
I know he's newer to live streaming. He's been live streaming for a couple of weeks now, but he's working with an organization called Christmas Without Cancer. So these hoodies are available on his website, and proceeds go to this Christmas Without Cancer organization. So
I might check that out. That's cool.
Yeah. There he is right there. Yep. He'll be here in a couple of weeks. What's up, Todd?
Perfect timing. Were your ears burning or whatever they say?
Right. So, all right, you guys, everybody, I appreciate you guys. People that are new, like Just Samson, Magic of the Mouse Radio, thank you guys for all coming and hanging out tonight. We will see you next week. Jeff, thanks again, man.
No, thank you, Ken. Appreciate the time.
And we'll see you guys next time.